And good Saturday morning to you here on 104.9 WFIW, also WFIWradio.com, WFIW AM 1390 at 103.3 FM. It's time for Saturday Sunrise. I'm Derek Dunn. It's a gorgeous Saturday morning out here on the hill here at the radio station. Our community calendar page is at WFIWradio.com. Lots of events in the area, so check out that community calendar page. But today's the day here, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the big day. We got the Fairfield Fall Fun Fest, the 50th annual, a slew of events here today that have been scheduled. One of which, well, it just started not too long ago in the East Lot, the post office. And like I said, this is the Fairfield Save A Lot Rib Cookoff. Now, 7 o'clock. Again, this is where you can sign in at the East Lot of the post office. I've got the head guy right here with me. He decided to come on out here on his little tractor. John, thanks for coming by.
Hello, Derek. Thanks for having me.
John, you are in charge of the Save A Lot Rib Cookoff this year. Now, obviously, Save A Lot is the sponsor, but how did this all start?
Well, Save A Lot has sponsored the Rib Cookoff for the last few years. And this year with Save A Lot moving from their old store to the new store, the guys that usually handle this were pretty busy, and they asked for somebody to step in, so I decided to step in and take it over for them this year. And I've helped with them before, so it's not a big deal, but we wanted to keep this Rib Cook-Off going on. We didn't want it to stop for 1 year and lag behind. We just wanted to keep it going.
This is really one of the biggest events, I think, of the Fairfield Fall Fun Fest because it's been going on for several years. And I appreciate you stepping up to the challenge and saying, I'm ready to take this thing on.
Yeah, Derek, it'll be a lot of fun. This year we've got 15 teams. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've kind of lagged behind that figure. Save A Lot stepped forward and giving cash awards this year for first, second, and third place, which really helps bring the teams out, get people to come out and participate. I
think the prize money that is, for those who finish, I believe it's in the top 3 in terms of prize money, whoever finishes in that money can go a long way towards supplies, maybe for some maintenance upkeep.
That's correct. I mean, these guys, they have some of them have lots and lots of dollars involved in their setup and their cooking rigs and the things that they do. But yeah, I mean, $300 for first place, $150 for second, $50 for third. That's nothing to laugh at. That's some pretty good change.
You've been in this cooking competition before. What is the mindset behind like a cook-off?
Well, Derek, we have a lot of fun. That's the big thing. That's the mindset for everyone. There's a lot of fellows that compete in this that'll really into it hard and work and a lot of these guys, they go from competing here to different places all over Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri. They do this quite often. Some of them don't, but for the most part, a lot of these guys take this serious more than anything for the bragging rights.
Yeah, for the bragging rights of saying, well, if I were the winner of this Rib Cook-Off, then, it's like, hey, I'm the best one out of all of them here, kind of, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we've got a pretty good group of guys this year, and a lot of these fellows, they go to the different ones as a group as well, and it's kind of an inside challenge for them to beat the other one.
You have the list of teams right there as well as the locations of where they're from.
I've got one team from Mount Vernon, Indiana, West Salem, Albion, Fairfield, of course, McLeansboro, Barnhill, Mount Carmel, Bone Gap. We've got them from all over around the area here, and looking forward to them guys coming to town.
I really like how it kind of even reached out beyond the borders of Mount Vernon, Indiana. But we were talking about this off air, but Facebook, the way you kept sharing the post about the Rib Cook-Off, it traveled for so many miles, countless miles.
Well, that's correct. We use Facebook a lot to promote the Fall Fun Fest, or the Fall Fun Fest committee does. And it really reaches out as well as with our sponsor, Save A Lot. Save A Lot deserves a ton of recognition for this. And it's pretty handy to have media like that to get out.
You are listening to WFIW AM and FM Fairfield, Illinois, Saturday Sunrise. I'm Derek Dunn. John Griswold alongside. John is in charge of the Fairfield Save a Lot Rib Cookoff. What's the schedule like, John, for the Rib Cookoff? I see right here on the schedule, looks like after judging, folks can swing by and eat for $10 per person, but it looks like it's be about 4:30, it looks like.
Yeah, it should be. The guys will show up early in the morning. A lot of them will be there at 7 o'clock. They'll filter in off and on throughout the morning and set up their equipment, get to cooking, and our goal is to collect the turn-in plates at 4:30, have the judging, and then sometime probably close to 5 or a little after 5, you can show up for $10, and we will give you a white styrofoam clamshell box with some ribs in it. $10 is pretty cheap because you're going to get nearly a slab of ribs in that box. And we have lots of people to come out, try the ribs. We try to put, one bone in from each team, and that way everybody gets a sample of everything that was there.
How many slabs of ribs are these guys cooking? Is it just like one slab or half a slab? Or?
We give them 3 slabs. Save a Lot provided 3 slabs per team, and those teams will turn in a turn-in box. That'll be garnished with all kinds of greenery and et cetera, and they'll be judged on what their turn-in box looks like as well. And the remainder, they'll put 5 bones, five ribs in each box in their turn-in. The remainder of the ribs they'll turn into us, and we will they'll be cut off cut out of the slabs, and we will place those in the boxes that'll be for sale to the public.
I remember I used to watch a lot of Chopped on Food Network, and I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but a lot of what the judges judge on in terms of criteria is like presentation. You talked about presentation a little bit. Also like texture, food, the quality of the taste. I think a lot of that goes into the cook-off, actually. That's
correct. We have a scorecard. I didn't bring one in here with me, but our scorecard consists of 1 to 5 points for tenderness, appearance of the turn-in box, appearance of the ribs themselves, the taste. They also will judge on either the sauce that the guys used, or if they used a dry rub to finish them with, they'll be judged on that. And the last question on the scorecard is overall appearance. On a scale of 1 to 25, when you open the box up and look at it, what did you think? Mm-hmm. And of course, there'll be 3 judges, and each judge will have their own scorecard, and we will do one box at a time and then move on down the line.
Yeah, I was going to say it's really important for the cooks to, I think prep work goes a long way, but also I think time management is another thing too.
That's correct. These guys, none of these guys that we have they're not new at this, and they do a lot of practicing. They'll cook stuff at home. They do practicing for other events, and it's just a matter of making things come out right at the right time. And there's so many different ways and methods that these guys will use. They might cook them 2 hours, put them in a cooler for 2 hours, take them out of the cooler and cook them again for another 2 hours, and et cetera. It's actually really interesting to watch all of the methods that they use and the different kind of cookers that are there.
You are listening to Saturday Sunrise, 104.9 WFIW, WFIWradio.com, as well as AM 1390 and 103.3 FM. I'm Derek Dunn, John Griswold, alongside the Fairfield 50th Annual Fall Fun Fest is today. Fairfield Save a Lot Rib Cookoff is one of the main events here. John Griswold is the organizer of this event. John, you and I were talking off air a little bit about ribs. What's your advice in regards to cooking ribs?
Well, the number one answer to that is don't boil your ribs before you cook them. A lot of people do that. That's in the cook-off world. It's absolutely a no-no to do that. You lose lots and lots of flavor out of your ribs if you do that. It's much simpler just to place them in a smoker, on the grill, even in the oven if you want to. That's just kind of the set in stone rule for us.
Ask you a question here in regards to sauces. Do you prefer sauce or dry rub on your ribs?
Sauce, absolutely sauce.
I love sauce as well. I have nothing against dry rub. I've had dry rub ribs and wings before, that sort of thing. But I love the sauce. And even some of these guys, too, they kind of make their own sauce.
That's correct. Every one of these guys, I just happen to know, every single one of these guys will make their own sauce. They will mix up their own sauce. They will cook it. Some of them even mix it up and they have it for sale. These guys also do their own rub that they use on prior to cooking. And if they do a dry rub at the end, they also make that up. So everything they do is very individualized and very different. And around here, we have Memphis style, we have Carolina style. Around here, our style is more Memphis style, where they're sweet and sticky.
I love sweet and sticky. I'd love that. John, we're just almost out of time here on this Saturday morning, but I do appreciate you coming by. But what's it been like thus far to be the organizer of one of the main events of the Fall Fun Fest today? What's it like to be that, and also with the help of Save a Lot as well?
Well, Derek, it's not too bad. There's a lot of things to get in order and get lined out and get ready for it and pick up trophies and etc. But once again, we appreciate Save a Lot so much for taking care of this event, and I'm sure they'll be doing it for next year as well as the coming years. And if you get out and about, come up, you can walk up, take a look at all the smokers and the cookers these guys are using, and stand around and talk to them and look at their equipment and how they're making their ribs.
I promise I'll try not to leave a trail of slobber when I'm there. I'll try not to, but it is tempting. Though I plan on swinging by there sometime today. So thank you, John, for your time. That wraps up Saturday Sunrise here on WFIW AM and FM. I'm Derek Dunn. Have a wonderful Saturday, and see you all at the Fairfield Fall Fun Fest.